Lester.
My name is Rino Ramoni.
Hi, my name is Elise Packer.
My name is Ekaterina.
I come from the United States in a state called Colorado.
I come from Kosovo.
I am from the United States in Utah.
I am from Russia, from St. Petersburg.
My favorite thing about Cremona is definitely the people.
I didn't know that Italians are too friendly.
Met a lot of really cool Italian people and international people.
Willing to help me learn Italian and speak English with me and show me the town.
We like to party, so that's been a good thing.
I chose to study in Cremona because of the wonderful opportunity that was offered to me through a double degree program.
I decided to study here because I like the history of this university.
The campus is beautiful. I love that it's like an old convent turned like modern study place. I think that's really interesting and fascinating.
From the outside, it's old, and inside is really new, modern.
It's nice and small. I get to know my professors really well and my classmates, and it's just really beautiful.
Great. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to this webinar that you joined to hear about the program, the economics and policy behind the food industry, about the Master in Agriculture and Food Economics. Well, we have experts about this topic right here with you. And that is not me. I'm the moderator of today. Welcome. My name is Luc Mulling, and I'm just doing a brief introduction to show you some interactive options before we go through to the presenters. Because you can, as already some people saw, write where you're logging in from in the chat. So please do that. It would be great to see the variety of people joining in and from different countries, hopefully. But most importantly as well, you have the option to write your questions at any time through the panel called questions at the right bottom, and we will be answering them at the end. Also, you have the option, and I will open up some polling questions. I'm actually going to start opening up one right now. So let us know your feedback. It's just nice for us to get to know you a little bit better there as well. Also, you have another button. It's called the fun button, I like to call it. It's at the bottom of the screen where you see react. If you click on that, you can give a reaction of your choice. If you hear something nice, exactly. There you go. So just to make it more interactive for the presenters and talking about them, let's go over to the presenters. And especially we start with Giulia from Università Cattolica de Sacro Cuore. Well, she can say that even better than me, but go ahead, Giulia, and lead us into the presentation. Good luck.
Thank you, Luke. I mean, you're saying it better and better every time. By the end of this year, maybe you're going to pronounce it as well as I can. So hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Giulia from Università Cattolica, and I will guide you through the webinar today. First of all, I think because we have so many speakers, it's interesting for you to know who they are. So, as I said, I'm Giulia, and we also have Professor Paolo Scocai, the coordinator of the program. We have two students, actually, Giacomo and Sofia from this program specifically, the Agricultural and Food Economics program. And then we also have Riccardo and Margherita, who are alumni at this program. So I'm going to have an interview with all of them. So I'm going to keep the presentation part really short because I really want people to see and hear about the experiences that all these people that are here with me have had in the past or are having right now. So really quickly, what we're going to do is we're going to see why we should study in Italy, why we should choose Università Cattolica and Italy, actually, to study agriculture. We will learn about the program, and then we are going to hear about the experiences of Giacomo, Sofia, Riccardo, and Margherita, and before that, hear a little bit from Professor Scocai. I'm going to go over the entry requirements as well, because I think I know that you guys are very interested in this. I've done a couple more webinars in the past, and I know that the question always comes up. So I'm going to go over entry requirements, and then we're going to leave the stage to your questions and answers. So let's start, I guess, from why you should study in Italy. Well, the pictures talk, I think, in terms of why Italy is very renowned in the world for wine and food. Absolutely. So it is a reason why you should study agriculture, in particular in Italy. Um, we're not only very good at making wine and making food. So just, I know it's a shocker, but we also do a lot of other things very well. We are very good at manufacturing in particular. So we have a lot of luxury sectors that we are leaders at, such as cars, yachts, watches. We are very good at doing that. Also, on another note, it is really nice to live in Italy because of the welfare that the country right now is actually very good at providing, especially in comparison to other countries in the world. For instance, the healthcare system is very, very good in our country. And that's why we also have a medicine program, because we kind of want to teach other people in the world how to manage the healthcare system the way we do. Of course, everybody knows about the panoramics, the landscapes, the culture, the cities. So that all adds up. And then, well, Italy is a nice place, but what about Cattolica? Who is Cattolica? Cattolica is the largest non-state university in Europe, founded in 1921. I like to say that we are oldish, but we're not the oldest, actually, because some of our universities in Italy were founded in medieval times. So we're not old, but we are not young either. We have 5 different campuses. We are a big university with more than 40,000 students, with a lot of international students as well. And I think the credit also goes to all the very nice partnerships we have from partner universities. So, of course, we try really hard to bring students from every country in the world, but also our partner universities do a great job in ensuring diversity in our classrooms. We also have a lot of programs. That's why we have a lot of students, and most of them, a lot of them are in Italian, but a lot of them are in English as well at an undergraduate and graduate level. So why you should study at Cattolica? As I said, we have we are private, so that means we have a lower student to teacher ratio, but we also have a higher funding, especially if you compare it to other universities in Italy and Europe, which means we can also improve our academic excellence because we have a lot of research going on. And if you know a little bit about rankings, I'm going to talk about that later, but if you know a little bit about rankings, you know that research highly increases the academic excellence of a university. Also, I think one of the peculiarities of Cattolica is the multidisciplinarity that we have. Because we have 12 schools and it ranges from agriculture to medicine, going through psychology, we have a mix of programs that really are born in collaboration between the 2, 3, 4 schools sometimes. So it's really nice that you see the programs that we have here, and they're, interdisciplinary. Maybe in other universities it is not the same. Also, despite having so many students, our students have a great experience. Feel welcomed, they feel supported. We have student associations, we have an international student office who takes care of our international students specifically, and we also have many possibilities to go abroad, as I said, because we have many partner universities. Last but not least, I said we have 5 campuses all over Italy. That means that we care about where our campuses are located, and we care about fitting the needs of the community and the communities that we meet when we decided to have a campus in a particular city. So we try to have a local campus strategy, and I think it really helps in terms of uniqueness of our university. last but not least, as I said, we are highly ranked, especially in agriculture. So I want to pay attention to the fact that we have a high ranking in the agricultural school. Particularly, we are ranked top 150 in the world according to the QS World University rankings, and also as a school, as a university, we rank really high in the Times Higher Education ranking as well. If you see the asterisk on the bottom left, right, sorry, we also have a lot of schools who are ranked top 5 in Italy. So we're really renowned also in terms of what we're going to talk about later, which is employer reputation. The reason why is because our all our schools are very well known in Italy. We are a private university, so we collaborate with entities, companies, non-governmental organizations. We really have close collaborations with a lot of different bodies. So that's why we are very renowned, and employers really value our students, alumni, our network. You can see an example of the companies that we work with at the bottom of this slide. So as I said, I think this is also unique in terms of what we do at Cattolica. But then I think I will have to leave the word to Professor Scocai, who can give us an idea of why this course in particular, agricultural and food economics, is so important, and it is so on point with what is happening in the world right now. So please, Professor, absolutely go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm Paolo Scocai. I'm the coordinator of the program. I'm very pleased to be here. I think that the slide you are seeing is just one way of summarizing what are the main challenges we are trying to address with this degree, as well as the course objectives that we are trying to pursue. So, what is agriculture and food economics? Is a course in which you will study the whole food system, from input provider to agriculture to final consumers, all the way to the food supply chain. Studying what? Studying several things: the mechanisms and the functioning of all the stages of the supply chain, the business and management issues that companies face, especially now that we are, facing this, big trade-off between sustainability of food systems on one side and productivity and the need to feed the world and the need to provide, regular and enough food for all, right? So this is the general environment that you are going to study. Of course, we study a lot also market mechanism and market regulation tools. Why? Because the food system is one of the most regulated sectors in which public regulation is extremely important. Public policies play a key role, and so students understand the role of policies in regulating the whole chain. And finally, we study consumer needs. Why? Because changing consumer preferences, changing diets, the linkage between diet and health are now the main drivers of what's happening in food system worldwide.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. Actually, I think I have a couple questions that our students may be interested in knowing the answer to. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you. You said, the world is facing these major challenges, which are related to agriculture, sustainability, food economics. How do you think this master's degree addresses these challenges?
Well, I think that the choice we have made is to, provide students with a sort of flexible background. What do I mean by flexible? some of our competing programs typically choose the way of either going more business or either going more economics. Our choice has been made of mixing these two backgrounds because we think that in order to be prepared to face all these challenges, students need to know both sides of these issues, so they know how companies are the challenges companies are facing, which means the business side of our background, but at the same time they need to know how markets work, how policies affect market and outcomes, and at the same time they need to have a sort of worldwide perspective. So the focus is not just Italy, even though Italy is very famous in the world for food production, right? But it's not just that. Is the fact that Italy, Europe, and Western countries are working in an interconnected world where the challenges facing by the food supply chains are very, very strong and very, very demanding in terms of competencies and in terms of new solutions, especially in the medium term.
Thank you very much. Can I also ask you if there are any innovative teaching methods, projects, or collaborations with industries that make this program particularly cutting edge?
Well, hopefully, yes. I think students may, and our alumni may confirm that we try to be very strongly related with companies, for example. Every week we have seminars in which managers or policymakers come to our student classrooms and interact with students. They propose their view of the challenges of the food system, and at the same time sometimes they propose challenges to students. We try to adopt a sort of very interactive teaching method, so students should not expect to just sit in a classroom, take notes, and go for a final exam. They work very often in group, they develop projects, they address challenges, they present their results in class together with their classmates. They present the results to companies, and sometimes companies take their solution as possible solution to their issues and their problems. So we try to be as interactive as possible, and we ask students to be very actively involved in their learning process, because we think that this is the way of preparing them to the world they are going to face after graduation.
Thank you very much. Can you share an example of how a student can apply their learning to a real world scenario, if you have anyone in mind?
Well, I think that one of the options they have is to develop these projects in which companies, for example, give them a sort of challenge. These challenges might be a marketing channel, a business challenge, an export development challenge. So companies come to our rooms and they say, well, we have this issue. We want to, let's say, open up our markets to the US or to Asian markets or to South America. We have this problem. We have these products. So are products fit for these developments, or should we change something in terms of marketing? In terms of design of the product, in terms of communication, in terms of business strategies as well. So in this way, students, for example, work in group, they develop their own solution, they present the solution to companies, and companies, of course, find strengths and weaknesses of the proposals by the students. So in this way, they learn how these kind of projects are going to be somehow prepared and then evaluated by the companies they are very likely to be employed after graduation.
Thank you very much. Another question, I would say the last one, so that we can also go over to the other participants as well. But what would the ideal student be for this program in particular? What do you look for?
Well, I think the ideal student is a student that has a passion for food and a passion for economics as well. A passion for understanding issues and trying to, give her or his contribution to solving issues, because these are, I would say, somehow humanity issues and issues that we all have to face together as a society and not just as individuals. So that's why we search for this kind of passion. Of course, we also feel that students should be somehow internationally minded. Why? Because we have an international class, we have several international programs. The students and and our graduates that are going to talk to you later on will, tell their stories. And we think that we give opportunities to be somehow, good for an international employment market on one side, but also good on understanding globally the issues that the food system is facing. So being internationally minded is another, I would say, a requirement or as a minimum a sort of prerequisites for being interested in what we study here.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. And I think what we can also do now is go over to our students. So Giacomo and Sofia, I will start with asking you to introduce yourself. Where do you come from? What was your academic background before you started your student career with us at Cattolica? Ladies first. So Sofia, please.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sofia Bellavita, and I am 23 years old. I was born and lived in Milan until my high school. I studied humanistic high school, and then after graduation, I decided to move abroad to the Netherlands, where I got graduated from the degree in Liberal Arts and Sciences in Maastricht University. This is a peculiar degree which allowed me to combine classical economic studies to social sciences, political sciences, and philosophy, because I wanted to have a cross-disciplinary approach to socio-economic issues, which is the same approach which is driven me now in my focus on the agri-food sector.
Okay, Jack.
So good morning, my name is Giacomo. I'm from Mantua, a small city close to Cremona. My family owns a farm and a dairy cooperative specialized in the production of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. I completed my bachelor's degree in Bologna, studying economics and marketing in the agri-food sector, and later chose to pursue a master's in agriculture and food economics here in Cremona.
Thank you both. So, Sofia, what inspired you to choose the agricultural and food economics program at Università Cattolica? Among all of the programs you surely have considered, you were an international student, and also Giacomo, why did you do that? Why did you think it was a good idea? Sofia, go first, please.
So first of all, I was drawn by the agri-food sector in first place due to all the innovations I witnessed back in the Netherlands that were groundbreaking. So vertical farming, more plant-based options as supermarkets, a lot of innovation. So I decided in first place to come back to Italy because I admire Italian food culture, first of all, and I've chosen this study program in particular because of two things mostly. First of all, the 360 focus on the entire food supply chain, so not only specializing in marketing or production on the other side. And second of all, because I wanted to continue the international study experience that my bachelor provided me back in the Netherlands, being this course taught in English.
Giacomo.
Yes, attending the open day left me with a strong positive impression, particularly due to Professor Skokai's expertise and the program's international approach, which offer a broad perspective on the European environment beyond Italy. Moreover, the course provides strong support and valuable connections with top companies in the agri-food sector, making the job research process more accessible. Additionally, it offers the opportunity to have a mentor selected based on personal interests, ensuring guidance from an experienced professional in the chosen field.
Amazing. We're gonna go back to this aspect of being followed and nurtured during your studies later on. How would you describe your academic experience so far, and what aspects of the program have been the most exciting or challenging? Sophia.
So I would describe it as excellent. For me, personally speaking, the most challenging part of the courses have been the courses much more agricultural science oriented, because I had no background in such fields. But the challenge became also the opportunity to exchange with my peers with different backgrounds and gain much more knowledge through interaction. So this multidisciplinary approach has been an opportunity to grow a lot.
I think it brings together different cultures, and I have personally experienced how the international community is large and closely connected with Italian students. From an academic perspective, the combination of economics, food production, and the European policies makes this program both interesting and useful, helping me understand how markets function and the sector's role in sustainability. The courses challenged me to think critically about the food footprint and environmental impact, while providing essential skills for the agri-food industry. Although demanding, it prepares me to analyze real-world problems and develop effective solutions, making this experience more rewarding and valuable for my future career.
Thank you both. So the question is, how is studying in Cremona? There is a city with a strong food culture. So do you feel like you have an advantage in studying a food-related degree in the heart of this food valley in Italy? Please, Sophia.
I think it's a great opportunity because, as you said, it's a hub for food-related, agricultural-related businesses, which, as Professor Scucai first talked in first place, gives us the opportunity to have somehow weekly exchange with such businesses or public organization, which gives a value added to the course, because it's a way to also have a hand on the topics and the content studied during lectures or traditional academic experience, through challenges, seminars, field trips, these kind of interactions that move beyond the traditional teaching method.
Thank you very much. Jack?
In my opinion, Cremona represents Italy's cultural and culinary heritage, rich in PDO products. These products provide key insights into marketing, tradition, and supply chain management. The city is an ideal place to study the evolution of high-quality food. It showcases the balance between tradition and innovation in the agri-food sector. This environment offers a unique perspective on global food market dynamics.
Thank you very much. Well, one last question. What advice would you give to prospective students considering this program?
My personal advice would be to fully interact with the program, so to really understand it in its active participation requirements and really partake to all the beyond classes experiences that it offers, because it's a way really to challenge yourself and to gain also what are now so-called the soft skills in terms of also time management between courses and other activities, organizational skills. There are a lot of group projects, so also in terms of leadership skills and stuff like that. So this would be my advice, not to take it as a traditional course with a lecture base, but to really engage and be proactive in your studies.
So in my opinion, the program offers valuable insights and numerous career opportunities in the agri-food sector. Cattolica in Cremona provides a supportive environment, fostering close interaction between students and professors. This structure makes it easier to develop initiatives and receive the personalized guidance. I encourage future students to be proactive and bring forward new ideas. The program offers the perfect platform for innovation and personal growth. If you want to make an impact, this is the ideal place to start.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for your perspective. And I think it is time for us to go over the professionals who have studied this program and are now, finding their way. And they have already found, I think, very nice ways to do life with this program. So I always start with ladies first. So Margherita, can you introduce yourself and share what you do? What's your current role? What's your industry?
Yes, sure. So I'm Margherita Muzzillo, and I come from Italy, of course. Right now, I would say that I have two roles because I'm currently a PhD student and Professor Paolo Scocai is my supervisor. But in 2 days, I will finish my traineeship at the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development of the European Commission. And then I will start a new contract there in 2 months. So let's say that I have these two roles that somehow they interact with each other. They can speak to each other because, my PhD, of course, I do research, whereas the commission, I do mostly policy. But since I was lucky enough to work on the same topic for both, which is risk management in agriculture, I think that these two can really interact with each other, and I can get inspiration from my research for my work at the commission and the other way around. So, yeah.
Thank you. Go to Riccardo.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Riccardo. I'm also from Italy, and since last year I'm working at Lavazza, the coffee roasters, and I am part of the Green Coffee Responsible Sourcing team. So what do we do? We're checking that each batch of coffee is produced respecting the legislation of the counterflaction, and also that no deforestation happened in order to produce that coffee. So we're checking each batch we are importing.
Okay, thank you very much. Two very different roles that we have here. So I'm very excited to hear from both of you. So I have so many questions, actually. I'm very curious. Margherita, what led you to choose this Master of Science in Agricultural and Food Economics? And also, of course, Riccardo, later on, if you can answer.
Yeah, so since I was a child, I was really passionate about food and cooking in particular. Then for my bachelor's, I studied gastronomic sciences for this reason. But then I understood that food is much more complex than just cooking that I thought before. And so I discovered the challenges the agri-food sector is facing. But my bachelor's was quite broad, and it gave me a good overview of the food system. But of course, I knew that if I wanted to have an impact, I should have gained more technical and analytical skills. And so that's why I decided to enroll in this master's program. And also because I thought that this could enable me to start from the beginning, because I didn't have any economic background. And so I decided also to enroll in this specific program because it gave the opportunity to students to really start from the beginning, so the very foundations of economics, so that you don't feel that you're left behind or you don't have the enough knowledge to graduate.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what Margherita said. In my case, after my bachelor's, I was a bit lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted to study something related to agriculture, but not in a technical way. So after that, a friend of mine received an envelope with a flyer of this master's, and she showed it to me. And I was like, I think this is what I want to do, because this course combines both the agricultural sector and also the economic one. And also there's room for international experiences, as many of you already said. So this is what made me choose this course.
Riccardo, what was your background? What did you study before this course? I'm curious.
Yes, I studied agricultural sciences.
Where?
Turin.
Okay, thank you. So, Margherita, how do you feel the program contributed to your career path?
So I think it really contributed a lot. First of all, because as I said before, I gained the technical and analytical skills that I think are needed to really understand the complexities of the agri-food system. And as I said before, I'm working in policy and research. So I think that really having this technical background enhanced my skills too, and also made me able to conduct research, but also looking at policy issues from a very technical side. And I think that also now I see that at the European Commission, for example, most people are dealing with agriculture, but they have more a political science background. And I think that they are really looking for people with an agriculture or an agriculture economics background, because we really have the knowledge and the instruments to understand the system in a very specific way.
Thank you very much. Riccardo.
Yes. So these masters gave me the opportunity of building a strong international experience, because I enrolled myself to the double degree program. Therefore, I spent my second year at the Wageningen University in the Netherlands. That is actually the best university in the world when it comes to agriculture.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. So it is very important for me to underline this fact that we do have a double degree program with Wageningen. I think we don't, we don't say this enough. So I'm really happy that you mentioned it. Margherita, were there any specific courses, projects, or experiences that helped you transition into your job? Like, you feel like this project, these experiences really helped you through finding your way?
Yeah, definitely my double degree experience as well, which was different from Riccardo, because I did my double degree program at the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences in Sweden, and through the FEPA program, which is the program in agricultural, food, and environmental policy analysis. Which is an opportunity that you can have if you enroll in this master's program. And I think that, having an international experience, of course, helped me not only to find this internship at the Commission, because I think that one of the requirements is also to have had an international experience in your life. But also I think that having to deal with an international context and with other people from different countries, and also analyze the food system not only from the Italian perspective, but also from another country's perspective, that I think this is really helping me with my current job.
Thank you, Riccardo.
Yeah, I have to agree again with Margherita. My double degree was focused on sustainable business and innovation. So it provided me with a nice and robust foundation in sustainability. So it's basically how to pursue business, still taking into account sustainability. So not only the economic gain. So this is really useful for me right now because, as I said, I'm in the responsible sourcing team of Lavazza.
Absolutely. It is a very nice opportunity. Also, what Margherita just mentioned, to go to Sweden as well, because I think they're very different when it comes to. I studied in a Nordic country as well, so they're very different when it comes to the academic culture and the way they do academics and they do upper education. So, absolutely worth mentioning the other option for the double degree. So. Did the network you built during the master's play a role in your professional journey? Do you still hear from your fellow graduates?
Yes. So I think that, of course, the relationships that you build during your master's programs are really fundamental. And personally, I'm still in contact with, with everyone, but from a professional side, I'm mostly in contact with the students that then took a similar career path as me. And we really exchange. Also, yesterday, I just had a call with one of them, and we were exchanging views and tips on how to build our career in the field. But yeah, I also think that also the network that you build with your professors could be valuable. Because, for example, when I went to Sweden, I had the chance then to publish my master thesis with the professor that was supervising me, and this, helped me to have also experience with academic publishing. And also, actually, right now, when I'm working at the commission, sometimes I meet people, and these people ask me about my PhD, and I say that I'm doing the PhD with Professor Skokai, and they all know him. And so, this also, helped me to have also other connections inside my new job. So, yeah.
Riccardo.
Yeah. So now that me and my course mates are getting to our careers, it's really interesting to talk about and to confront each other, because sometimes our jobs are connected. For example, right now I'm working with this European regulation. It's called EUDR, so European Union Deforestation Regulation. And some of my former course mates are now working in policy as Margherita, for example. So it's really interesting to stay in touch with them, and who knows what will happen in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very interesting. And I did not forget that Professor Skokai is on the list of the top 2% scientists in this field, according to I never remember if it's Stanford or Oxford. I think it's Stanford, right? So I never.
Yeah, of course, these ranking are good for us, but what's important is the fact that. My good feeling of being the coordinator of this program is the fact that we build a community of graduates that, as I said, as Margherita and Riccardo already said, they stay in touch, and they somehow build together a vision of problems of the food system, staying in touch and helping each other somehow. So this is really something I like very much. Of course, we do our best both in teaching and in research to build our standards and our reputation. But the former student community is extremely important, I would say.
Absolutely. Well, back to Margherita. I have another question. And what do you wish you had known before starting this master's degree?
Mathematics, I would say, because I studied humanities studies for high school, and then, as I said, I studied gastronomic sciences, so I didn't really have a strong mathematical foundations. And then when I realized that there was a course on mathematics, at the beginning I was just super scared. But then I managed, and I was also quite successful in the exam. So I think that you don't have to worry because I was super worried. But if you are worried as well, like, you don't have to, because you just study. And really, like, the good thing, I think, is that the course starts from the very basics. And so, like, also for people like me who really didn't have a lot of strong background, like, you can manage. So yeah, I would say that maybe with a stronger mathematical background would have been better. But yes, that was my fault.
Math scares everybody anyway. Riccardo.
Yes, I would suggest to all the future students that would like to do an international experience to get an English certification. That could be the Cambridge assessment or whatever, it doesn't matter, but you gotta have it. So if you do it before starting the masters, is better, because otherwise, with the exams, the lectures, the group projects, the schedule is going to be a bit tight.
Okay. Looking back, Margherita, Riccardo, what is the one thing that you appreciated the most about this master?
I think that, yes, I appreciated a lot that there were a lot of opportunities to go abroad. So also for Erasmus, but also the double degree programs where really there are two. And so I think that you can choose among a lot of options that could fit your passions and your interest in a best way. So, for example, I mean, me and Riccardo did the double degree, but they were super different, because I chose Sweden because there was a more focus on policy and sustainability. That was the one I was most interested in. But yeah, you also have a lot of different options to choose from, so to better choose your fit. And I really appreciated that the classes were quite small. And so that there was a lot of collaborations among students, but also connections with professors.
Yep, Riccardo.
Yes, I have the same answers of Margherita. I swear we didn't exchange them. But yeah, for sure, the room for international experiences. And also, she said the small classrooms, because you can build a close also interactions with the professors. And also really like the seminars. As Professor Skokait said, it's really important to participate to them, because they give you a glimpse of the industry.
Thank you very much. One last question. If you could summarize your experience in one sentence, what would it be, Margherita?
I would say that it's been an intense and eye-opening journey that like made me go out of my comfort zone, I would say. Yes.
Riccardo?
Yeah, it's been an interesting and tough journey, but in the end, all the efforts have been rewarded.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Luke, I'm calling you back in for the question time.
Okay, good to hear. I think you wanted to explain a bit more about the application procedure, maybe as well, or
yeah,
should we first do the
absolutely.
questions?
No, absolutely, because I think some of the
because
questions
we might get a lot
are
of questions about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, very quickly, how to apply? It's very easy. You apply online, and applications are going to be on the 7th of May, the deadline for non-EU students. And the EU students will have until the 25th of June. So applications are still open, and you are very welcome to apply if you wish. The tuition fee here, you see it differentiated between EU students and non-EU students. Remember that there is also a UCSC International Scholarship for non-EU students, whose aim is to lower your tuition fee. Also remember that tuition fees for students coming from partner universities may differ. So if you want to have a glimpse of what your tuition fee structure is going to look like and you are from a partner university, you should contact your reference. Also, the entry requirements, I've seen some questions about this as well. You will have to graduate on your undergraduate degree before July 31st, 2025. And you will have to be proficient at least at a B2 level. We accept the certifications that also Riccardo, I think, mentioned, Cambridge, IELTS, TOEFL. There is a specific section on the website dedicated to the English requirements, but just to let you know, the most common for us would be IELTS and TOEFL. IELTS should be at least 6, TOEFL should be at least 84. Also, field-specific requirements. You have heard of many different backgrounds, actually. So it is not mandatory to have a specific background in a specific subject, but ideal candidates do have to have an academic background in agriculture, in food, in economics. And as Margherita pointed out, there has to be some room for statistics and mathematics in your heart because of the nature of the program. So that would be it regarding the application and how and when to apply and the entry requirements. So I will definitely leave the time for answering the questions.
Yes, let's go to those questions. So we'll start off with that. I just want to highlight one thing is that, yeah, the questions, of course, are now for the live audience, but I know these days a lot of people watch the recording as well. So if you do, you can actually still write questions through the panel. So they, of course, cannot be answered right now, but they will be sent through to the staff of UniCatt, so they can come back to you and yeah, hopefully answer that. So just to let you know, and also everyone can answer the polls. So I've just submitted another one just to get some more feedback from you, so all of you can participate. All right, let's go through to the questions. Felix was wondering how long is this course? I don't know, it might have been answered, but maybe you want to highlight.
Yeah, it's a 2-year master's degree, and it is important to underline that in Italy, we have 2 different kinds of programs that you can study after your bachelor's and master's degrees. The ones that we're talking about, the 2 years ones, are the only ones who give you access to PhDs. So Margherita is doing a PhD because she studied the 2 years master's degree. If you choose to do a specializing master, you might not be qualified to go ahead and research to do research. So yes.
Good, thank you. Next question is from Irene. Is it recognized outside of Italy as well? I guess the degree.
Yeah, absolutely. You have heard from some of our students who also go abroad, so it's definitely recognized outside of Italy and at least in all of Europe. You should be good to go without any additional requirements from other universities / partners or even companies in the private sector. They really appreciate our background.
Yeah, also everywhere else in the world, by the way. I did study in the US, and I was actually using my Italian degree, and we have experiences of students, going on in both in the private sector or for further studies everywhere in the world. So no problem.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. Next question from Satyam. How about agri and AI?
That is a very interesting question, Professor.
Yes. Well, of course, we are very much aware of the, of the innovations coming from the application of AI in agriculture and food. And we are going, we will have a specific class next year for second year students dedicated to the AI application in agriculture and food, mainly from a business perspective, so from the company's perspective. Of course, we also have issues related to the application of AI that go beyond this, the business applications, and these are, let's say, more general. But in this sense, I mean, we do draw consequences of the introduction of AI in many classes now, and also in our own work. So we are using AI as well. It's new for everyone, so it's a sort of frontier we are going to face and somehow push forward. So I think we are up to date on that.
Great. Well, good to hear. Thank you very much. And hopefully that answered the question of, yeah, I see thumbs up. So I guess that is good. Anna has a question. Is the program in any way connected with some firms there? Is it possible to do an internship?
Well, I think we mentioned already, so we are very much connected with companies, and we do not have internship for all students, but many of our students take an internship, in some cases connected to the thesis project. So if you carry out the thesis in a business topics, you may be involved in a project involving one or more companies. And in some other cases, they simply take an internship as an additional experience with respect to their study program. However, I would like also to emphasize the fact that we have a placement service which is quite efficient, I would say, and we help our students to find typically an internship, or also at the end, toward the end of the program, as a sort of starting experience to get used to the job environment. So I mean, internship is very, very common, either during the program or at the end of the program, as a way to be introduced into the job market.
Okay, great. Thank you. Anna Zhang has a question. How important is Italian for finding a job in Italy? Does Cattolica also help in finding a job, even if we speak little Italian?
We give international students the opportunity to attend an Italian class, which is, of course, an introductory class. So it's Italian to survive in Italy. So you won't become extremely fluent in Italian because of that class. You may learn some more Italians being in Italy, and as any experience of being full immersion in a different culture and a different environment. For sure, you will learn some Italian. I would say that it depends on the companies and it depends on the environment. In some, especially for small and medium enterprises and for local organizations, speaking Italian is very important. But if you work for multinational companies based in Italy, or big food companies, big retail chains, I mean, you can actually find an environment in which speaking English is, daily matter. So I would not be worried about that. Of course, I mean, our objective is to give students the opportunity to choose an international career anywhere. In Italy, at some point, for some type of companies, the Italian language is important, but not for all. So even though if you don't learn Italian too much, you have opportunities as well. We have many students, international students that are working in Italy now after our degree. So it's a rather common experience.
Yeah, just let me add that I think one thing that we recommend is to start learning Italian as soon as they decide to apply for our in general, for all our programs. It's not only a matter of agricultural and food economics, because undoubtedly Italian helps and opens more doors than relying solely on English. So if you are a good language student, so if learning a new language is easy-ish for you, I would definitely recommend also going to, I don't know, start with Duolingo, which is the first one that comes to my mind, but there is a lot of online research resources to do this for free. So I definitely recommend starting from the very beginning, because, you know, as Professor Skokai said, it's not mandatory, but it really opens new doors.
Okay, great, thank you. Next question we received is about the cost of living. And actually, I provided a poll where what information people were looking for, and this was actually at the top. It was voted that they wanted to know more about cost of living. So here is the question, and yeah, what can you say about that?
Well, it depends on how you live, actually.
Well.
Okay, it's not easy to answer the question completely. I mean, we would need many details. Our Cremona is a small town, is a small university town, and compared to big metropolitan areas like Milan or Bologna, the cost of living is lower. Of course, it's not cheap in absolute sense. Why? Because, I mean, in Italy and in Europe, the cost of living for international students sometimes is quite high. So clearly, we can, of course, help you getting in touch with other international students. They can give you how they faced this issue of the cost of living. But if you wish to study in Europe, I think that Italy and small towns in Italy like Cremona are one of the most affordable places, although it's not cheap in absolute sense, I would say.
You're on mute, Luke.
Yeah, I made the mistake myself. So thank you for that. Maybe we can have also some insights from the students about that, the cost of living. Who can say something about that?
Sophia or Giacomo?
So, as I said, I previously lived in the Netherlands, and in my high school time, I was in Milan. So, by benchmark, it's as Professor Skokai compared to Milan and other big cities, is cheaper, but of course. Then it's up to each individual case trying to find a good balance. I know some students, international students, who managed to find some job while studying here, babysitter, teaching English to Italian students. So there are some ways, to deal with it.
As far as I'm concerned, I didn't find the problem that I found in Bologna, for example. So the cost is lower for sure than, like Professor Skokai said, respect, for example, in comparison with Bologna or Milan. So I think it's more affordable here in Cremona, and overall not that expensive, but it depends for sure on your for example, I paid half of overall half of my daily expense in comparison with Bologna. So
Okay, I hope that helped the students. Thank you very much. And I think the last question for now, as I see it, question from Satyam: do you accept certification of English as a medium of instruction, if you don't have an IELTS or any other language test?
Yeah, I think Adore in the background also sent the link to the certifications that we do accept and the exemptions on the certifications. In general, if the whole undergraduate degree was taught in English, we generally also accept the certificate of completion of all the whole degree in English as an alternative, but you can find more useful and more detailed information on the link that Adore provided on the answer as well. So please go have a look at it. And if you have any questions, and I think we can absolutely close with this one. If you have any questions regarding what the entry requirements are, or if you have any doubts about what you should be doing, or I don't know what to write in the motivation letter, we have a website that can give you a lot of information, so save it. We have an email address that you can use, and a phone number that you can call. So we hope that we can help you in many different ways.
Yes, and we have a link as well. If you want to go to the admission and tuition entry requirements directly, if you go to the right bottom under apps, there's a link section, so you can click right away there. You don't even have to search for it. So you just open it up, and at your own pace, you can have a look after this webinar. So with that, we are concluding this session. From my end, I want to thank everyone for joining. Of course, first of all, the audience that joined in from many different countries. So I saw different regions and even continents joining in. Thanks for your time. And also, of course, the students and alumni, thank you very much for your time and thoughtful answers and insights. And of course, Julia, and last but not least, the professor, thank you very much. And that's it for now, everyone. Thanks, and have a good evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.